the market is reacting horrendously to the news yesterday, the Trump Liberation Day, as they called it, with the tariff situation. And right now we see red across the board. There are some altcoins that are holding up quite nicely. We'll talk about that later in this video. I'm going to go over my market thesis right now because I think this is the most manipulated and maybe hard to predict market that there's ever been in crypto. Like right now, all the traders that I know, they say it's on hard mode. Like if you're playing Madden, you're playing on all Madden right now in this market. So I'm going to go over what I think for the future, the forecast for Q2 as well for the end of the year. I still see a bullish year end, but when is this pain going to stop? When is this going to be considered priced into the market? And also, what coins and narratives would I be looking at if we start sinking much lower from here? So let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more every day and every single week here on In the Game. We have you covered from crypto gaming, overall market news, AI, RWA, meme coins, whatever alpha, we have you covered here on In the Game. As well, a big shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have some incredible sponsors from Ledger, 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏, as well as Moontropica. We have Medieval Empires, CRADLE Games, and also our exchange partners. Like I said, trading is extremely difficult, especially in this market. But if you need a reliable place that doesn't wick you out of your trades, longs, shorts, no KYC, you can check out Blowfin down below in the description. I believe there is a sign-up bonus if you use the link in the description. There's tons of pairs here. As you can see, they also have Gun, which is a gaming token we've talked about here on the channel. So they have pairs pretty quickly lined up for you to be able to trade on Blowfin. So check it out in the description down below. Now, let's just jump into it. I mean, obviously, like I said, most of the market is literally getting absolutely obliterated. There are maybe like 15 greens on this whole chart right now as we're just scrolling through the prices. So you can just see the market is reacting terribly to yesterday's tariffs. I mean, the tariffs enforced on different countries and all this stuff. And, you know, the market manipulation is pretty insane, in my opinion, when we just look at it. And, you know, we've talked about manipulation in the past, and, you know, this is definitely the most manipulated market that you can trade in. But at the same time, like, seeing the market, it felt like right here, tariffs were priced in. We had this Liberation Day coming up, and it felt like the traders and just crypto overall were pricing in the worst. And then we started rallying all the way up to 87 yesterday, right before these tariffs and the Liberation Day actually begun. And well, yeah, they definitely, I think you call it liquidation day. They definitely liquidated a bunch of longs and took us all the way back down to 82,000 as we sit now. And it felt like the market was priced in with these tariffs, and it felt like it was expected news that these tariffs were coming. So the fact that the market just absolutely tanked at that point was surprising to me. So right now, like, if I was trading, I don't think there's a clear direction. Like, we could absolutely rebound. That could have been a bear trap and trying to get you bearish and selling all your coins as they're dipping. But I wouldn't be surprised if we slip into the 70s in the short term and find a bottom, you know, closing out towards the summertime. And then maybe we see a recovery May onward. But at the same time, my forecast has always been Q4. I think from September through December, so the end of Q3 into Q4, I think that is going to be the most bullish time for crypto in 2025. So my thesis remains. I think we're going to see a little bit of ease in the markets at that point in time. I think we're going to see a lot better rates at that point as well. So for me, I've always talked about it on this channel. It's really hard whenever you see your portfolio down during these days. Like, we look at the market, most people's portfolio is going to be in the red. So you can't like look at yourself and beat yourself up over it, because everyone who's in the crypto industry and invested into this market is in the red right now. Like, most of the smartest traders I know are in the red at this point in time. I don't think this is the time to go run and sell your positions. I do think that this is just a ton of manipulation, and it really is the hardest market that I've seen in crypto in quite some time. People are calling, you know, for the lowest sentiment they've seen since literally FTX. And if we look at the fear and greed index here on Easy's tweet, we see 18, we see 24 on CoinMarketCap. It is near basically cycle all-time lows whenever it comes to the fear and greed. So typically that is the time to be looking for opportunities. I do recommend always having stable coins on the side in your portfolio, but right now I wouldn't be running to sell your altcoins or anything like that. I do think we see a recovery coming up, but it has definitely been a rough market. So let's just jump into a little bit of news quickly, and then also my portfolio thought process right now, the things that, I'm still holding on to, things I'm looking for opportunities if they continue to dip, as well as just my investment thesis currently, because things have definitely changed in this market, the priorities, the type of niches and narratives that people are really running towards. So we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. We obviously in the crypto gaming space had one of the biggest launches of the cycle go live with Gunzilla. And I will say, if anyone was to say they're super satisfied with it, you'd have to be lying, or you're just a bag bias. And I invested in the pre-seed round. I don't really have any sort of take on it. I have unlocked tokens that I could have sold. I didn't sell any. And I've seen comments of, KOLs who, talk about this coin, and everyone thinks that everyone's a paid influencer on this coin. I invested in this coin a couple years ago. Like, I've had my money locked into this project for quite some time, and right now it's at 450 million. It's getting crushed with this market. It's a low float, high FTV coin. I think things could have been done better, but I do really think that if this economy goes live, the coin and just the attention on this game and on this economy could really flourish. So right now I'm not really panicking. I think this is due for the course. They launched in the worst market possible at this point in time. So I do think the sentiment on guns could change, especially whenever mainnet goes live here. We see a little bit more token sinks and usage on mainnet within the game. People are talking about how much money they're making inside the game. I think that could be a turning point as well. And when the nodes go live, I know a lot of people who have nodes will be getting more utility out of the ecosystem, and now it is on decentralized exchanges, so you can trade the guns token on Avalanche now. It has dipped 55% since launch. This launched at $1 billion. It is now at 450 million. So personally speaking, I would be looking for about 300 million, because this thing is going to continue to get crushed in this market, given how new the launch is, as well as just the situation. So many Binance launch pool participants and sell pressure. And as they say, Binance doesn't really help coins these days. They might be part of the sell pressure at this point in time. So I'm looking for 300 mil on guns. I think that would be a very fair DCA price to be able to ride it back up whenever the market turns around. And most importantly, when mainnet does go live. And then we have Avalanche, the blockchain that Gunzilla's testnet and mainnet is built on. They announced a new deal with Core Protocol, who's launching an L1 to bring IP on chain, starting with 1 billion in music, film, and gaming IP from partners like Black Mirror, Deadmau5. We have Niantic and Beatport. So this is a pretty cool update. I also think that Avalanche right now at 17 is a really, really good DCA, down 20% on the week. You're not really going to find any of these top layer ones. I mean, we have Dogecoin and Solana down 20%, but to me, I do think $17 long-term is a great DCA on Avalanche. And I will be honest, I'm not DCAing much at this point in time in the market. And then we also have, according to, and also in accordance to Avalanche, we have the Beam nodes, which went live. The rewards are now live. So if you bought Beam nodes, make sure you've delegated those nodes, and those rewards have started accruing as of April 1st. We also see another top gaming ecosystem, RavenQuest, go live. You have 100 million FDV day one, which I think is just super impressive as well in this market. And it actually rose from 60 up to 100 million. So this one did the opposite of guns. People thought it was a little underpriced. And now we're seeing RavenQuest, one of the best MMORPGs in the space, trading at over $100 million FDV. And it is interesting to see that when Immutable got rid of their SEC case, the SEC dropped their case against Immutable, they have been supporting their token launches. And this might be a factor because their broader ecosystem, they have a tons of liquidity, and they definitely need games to come out and have this type of a splash in the market, because I think Immutable has kind of been kicked to the curb a little bit because people prioritize Avalanche and Ronin as far as gaming chains currently. So this is definitely interesting that we see a 9-figure FDV on a project that is one of the flagship games on Immutable the second that they start promoting token launches. So that's an interesting narrative as well. We have 2 of the top games on Ronin from Pixels and Rooniverse collaborating. I think what you're going to be able to do here is cross-collaborate and be able to use each token in each gaming ecosystem, which is pretty bullish as well. We have Xborg's parent company, Swissborg, getting a Hyperliquid listing. This is big because I know Xborg themselves is working on a Hyperliquid listing. So I think that could be a big catalyst. Obviously, the volume that they drive on Hyperliquid is more than impressive. So the exposure, and there's limited pairs. So it's one of the few gaming pairs whenever it gets put on Hyperliquid. I'm expecting an XBG listing coming up shortly. And just before, I'm going to go into a few more narratives that you can take a look at and a little bit more news, and also coins that I actually would be eyeing up in this market. But I want to talk about the gaming sector quickly. As I rattled through the news, I did it quickly because honestly, I don't want to harp on the news. I want to talk about investment thesis. I think, if you asked me 12 months ago, okay, you can invest in Ronin at whatever price it was. Let's just look at the year, because a lot of people beat up the crypto gaming space. And yeah, a year ago, even at $3 and what the market cap would have been there, it felt super inexpensive. Down here, it felt inexpensive at $1.20, right? You go look at other gaming coins here. We can pick out anything from a hat here. We see Beam. We go 1 year. My investment thesis, if I went back a year, wouldn't change. Beam has improved tenfold since last year. Ronin has even gotten 10 times better than it was last year from a product perspective. Just meme coins and the way the market has trended has not been friendly to these types of tokens. I mean, Superverse has added 200 plus partners and it's gone nothing but down since December. My investment thesis, I would do it over 10 out of 10 times. Just investing in the top infrastructures from Beam, Prime, Ronin. So for me, I'm not changing that thesis. These products have all gotten so much better over the course of the time. So I am staying invested in the gaming space. I am, however, looking at other narratives. So a few more notes on gaming and then the other narratives that I'm prioritizing at this point in time. We have DeFi Dungeons live, which is kind of like the Solana version of DeFi Kingdoms. I'm going to do a tutorial on this. I need time to be able to jump into it. As you can see, my studio is kind of cleared out because I am actually moving. So I will have a new studio here coming up pretty soon, but I will jump into this when I have some time and be able to give you guys how to earn inside this ecosystem. We have Gamble Games. If you guys participated in the launch pool, number 3, they did just send out those rewards, and the Gamble Money token, the GM, I love this ticker, Gamble Money, is coming soon. So be on the lookout for that. And then as far as the other narratives I'm looking at, obviously AI, but I'm not delving into the AI, the middle cap crap right now. If I'm DCAing in AI, we have 𝗏𝗏𝗀 𝗏 down 25% on the week, sitting at 200 flat. That is a crazy low level for something like 𝗏, as well. Render down 21% on the weekly. So for me, I'd be DCAing hard into stuff like 𝗏 and Render at these levels. And then moving on to RWA/DPIN. First of all, the most impressive coin in this entire market, really for the last 5 months or so, has been Mantra. Mantra, one of the top, if not the top RWA token in the entire market, while everything on the weekly is literally down 10, 15, 20, 30%. You're seeing Mantra only down 4%. And one of the worst, the tariffs came through the door. It's only down 10% on the month, while everything else is down 30+%. So it is showing you Mantra's strength is here to stay. Even in a down market, this thing is showing it is one of the top coins in crypto. So if you felt like you were missing out on this, if it dips a little more, I think Mantra is definitely worth a DCA. And then I love World Mobile Token just from a DPIN perspective. I think it's 16 cents at this $100 million range on circulating market cap. Given the fact that they're network is up and running. They're a part of the Wi-Fi Alliance as of recent as well. Their chain on mainnet is going live. So for me, I'm prioritizing RWA. I do think RWAs and DPIN are going to be some of the biggest narratives of this cycle. And for me, there's really 2 clear plays. It's Mantra and it's World Mobile Token. I do like Ondo. I don't like that it's 3x fully diluted. However, for me, the number 1 coin that I want more exposure to right now, given the strength that it's showing. This thing will rebound like crazy if it's only down 4% on a week where everything is just getting literally crushed. And you're looking at some coins that haven't been this low since November of 2023. We're looking at crazy low levels, but I wouldn't be going crazy with the DCAs. I think you have to be reserved, be smart, leave some stable coins on the sidelines. But I do think there are a couple of coins in this market that are warranting a little bit of a nibble. Given mantra, and then as well in the AI space, I would be looking at stuff like Tau and Render. And then if I'm DCAing one gaming coin today, I would probably have to say it would be Ronin at 65 cents is just insanely cheap. Or I'm going to go with Avalanche at $17, given the fact that they power the Gunzilla testnet and mainnet. It's moving into mainnet. I think if mainnet does cause a little bit of a increase in momentum for Gunzilla, I think that Avalanche is going to feast off of that because it is underlying their network's technology. So that's about it for today. I know, the news, not too much news in the market currently. And like I said, I really am not changing my investment thesis. I think gaming is still going to have a crazy run at some point in time. I think Gunzilla launching in this market is super unfortunate because if they launch into a good market, it could have stimulated a broader gaming run. But I do think when mainnet comes around, gaming could pick up some hype as people are trading their assets and it kind of catches fold. Maybe with Web 2 users, we even saw people like Shroud at one point saying that the in-game trading was a super cool concept. So once that actually goes live, maybe we see a little bit of traction there come back for Gunzilla. But more so, I think RWA and AI have to be at the top of your priority list as well. If you have exposure to gaming, that's where I'd be looking currently. So I will keep you guys updated in this market. It is a tough market. Like I said, it is not on easy mode. This is on legendary mode as far as Halo. So be sure to check out the links in the description for our sponsors down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. As always, play well, my friends, and please stay bullish, my friends.